Welcome to Bootcamp Verse, your universe of tech boot camps. Congratulations on making it to week 4 of the Code2Corporate Bootcamp. This is the final week, and it's all about putting everything you've learned into practice. Over the past 3 weeks, you've built a strong foundation in real-world IT workflows, from cloud basics and CI/CD to logging, monitoring, and IT support scenarios. You've also started developing crucial soft skills that every tech professional needs. Now, it's time to bring all of these elements together in a hands-on mini project, a real-world simulation designed to make you job-ready and confident for your career journey. Before we dive into today's main topic, let's quickly recap what you accomplished last week. In week 3, you explored how real-world tech teams operate. You learned about cloud platforms and why they're the backbone of modern IT infrastructure. You practiced setting up basic CI/CD pipelines, so you understand how code moves safely from your computer to production. You saw firsthand why logging and monitoring are vital for troubleshooting and support, and you tackled IT support scenarios that mirror what you'll face on the job. Importantly, you also learned about soft skills like communication and time management that set apart good techies from great ones. Today, you'll start applying all these skills in your mini project. So, what is this mini project all about? Think of it as your first step from theory to practice, a simulation of a real-world assignment that you could be given in your first tech job or internship. It's designed to be approachable but meaningful. You'll get to apply your technical know-how, practice project management, and produce something you can proudly showcase on your resume and LinkedIn. Plus, this project prepares you for the review and interview rounds coming up at the end of the week. The purpose of this mini project is simple: give you a realistic, hands-on opportunity to show what you've learned. You'll work with real APIs, use version control with Git, and if you're up for the challenge, even try a bit of cloud deployment. Don't worry if that sounds overwhelming. We'll guide you every step of the way. By the end, you'll have a tangible project that demonstrates your skills to future employers. Let's talk about the project itself. Here's the idea. You'll build a simple application that fetches data from a public API and displays it in a user-friendly way. Don't worry, you don't have to build a full-blown website or an app with a fancy UI. The goal is to understand the workflow, practice your skills, and have something concrete to show for your efforts. For example, imagine building a web page or a Python script that pulls the current weather data from a public API and displays it. Or maybe you fetch fun facts from a public facts API and show them to the user. The project's core requirements are straightforward. First, you need to fetch data from a public API. This is where you'll use the API interaction skills you learned earlier. You'll make an HTTP GET request, handle the response, and extract the relevant data. Second, you'll process and display this data in a clear format. If you're comfortable with web basics, you might create a simple HTML page that shows the results. If not, printing the data to the console or saving it to a file is perfectly fine. Third, you must use version control. All your project code should be tracked using Git, with regular commits showing your progress. At the end, push your repository to GitHub, so it's easy to share and review. As a stretch goal, you can try deploying your project. For instance, if you build a static web page, you can use GitHub Pages or AWS S3 to make your site live. This isn't required, but it's a great way to take your project to the next level. Let's break down why each requirement matters and how it connects to what you've learned so far. API interaction. This is the heart of your project. Remember day 9, where you learned about APIs and HTTP requests? Now you'll use those skills to fetch real data, handle status codes, and work with JSON responses. Git and GitHub. On day 4, you learned how to use Git for version control. Every project in the real world uses some form of version control, and employers will expect you to know the basics. Commit your changes regularly, write clear commit messages, and push your code to a public GitHub repo. This is essential for your project review and for showcasing your work to recruiters. Web basics. If you choose the web route, you'll apply what you learned on day 8. Basic HTML, CSS, and maybe a touch of JavaScript. This will help you display your data in a simple, clean way. IDEs and debugging. Use your preferred IDE to build the project, and don't hesitate to use the debugger or add logging statements to track down issues. This is real-world problem-solving in action. Cloud basics. If you're up for the optional deployment, you'll revisit your cloud knowledge from day 11. Hosting a static site on AWS S3 or GitHub Pages is a fantastic way to show you understand both code and deployment. Task management. On day 6, you learned about agile workflows and tools like Jira. While you don't need a full Jira setup, try breaking your project into small tasks, like set up GitHub repo, fetch API data, or build display page. Even a checklist in Notepad works. This will help you stay organized and deliver on time. Soft skills. Don't underestimate the importance of time management, clear communication, and problem solving. If you get stuck, practice asking focused questions. These soft skills are as valuable as your technical skills. Let's quickly talk about how to structure your project and what you'll deliver at the end. Your project folder should be simple. Have a main directory with your code files, a readme.md to explain what your project does, and any necessary assets. The readme.md should include a project description, steps to run the code, and a list of technologies used. If you deploy the project, add a link to the live site. In summary, your deliverables are a working application, even if it's basic, the complete code hosted on a public GitHub repository, a clear README on SIMD file, an optional link to your deployed application. What's next? Tomorrow's session will be fully hands-on. We'll guide you through the first steps of building your project, and you'll get to code along, ask questions, and troubleshoot in real time. For now, review the requirements, pick an API you'd like to use, and think through the steps you'll need to complete your project. To wrap up, remember, this mini project is your chance to turn learning into action. The skills you'll practice here directly reflect what employers look for in entry-level tech roles. You're building a real project, gaining practical experience, and boosting your confidence. So dive in, have fun, and don't hesitate to ask for help if you need it. If you have any questions about the project requirements, deliverables, or which API to use, now's the time to ask. We're here to support you. Thank you for your energy and participation. Let's make this final week count. Don't forget to subscribe to Bootcampverse for more real-world learning that takes you from zero to job ready.